On Tuesday, March 21st, we get an exciting and unique new moon in Aries. You might wonder what makes it so special. The truth is, this is one of two new moons in Aries. Later on in April, we're going to get a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So the same house, the same sector of the chart gets activated twice. This new moon is very early in the sign. It conjoins Mercury, so it has a mental quality to it, where we are thinking deeply about things, about our pursuits, planting seeds of new beginnings, and getting things moving. While the next new moon solar eclipse will bring dynamic, sudden, and exciting changes. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal relationship and predictive readings. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, join our team, leave me a like or a comment. Any interactions I have with you really help my channel grow and encourage me and encourage YouTube to kind of build our collaboration together. Before I dive in, wanted to let you know that besides doing astrological readings and consultations, if you'd like to work with me, there are links down below. I also create candles with astrological magic properties. Basically, the point of these is you carefully elect a time, you offer, there's an offering to a planet, there's a ritual element, and the time window is very limited because you want to choose the most benevolent transit. For example, this is a Venus in Libra candle. I make candles and oils, and it has copper foil in it. Copper is the metal of Venus. It's really good for manifesting relationship, for helping with existing relationships. I also have Venus Cazimi. This one smells like a rose, that's why it's pinkish. This one smells like apples, it's green. Venus Cazimi is good for existing relationships. If you have felt Saturn entering Pisces affect your productivity, I'm labeling it as sad procrastination. I feel like Saturn in Pisces can be very Saturnian, where it comes in and helps us work on Piscean things, right? Like creative projects, spirituality, faith, dreams, making them real. Or it can lean heavily into Pisces, where we seek to escape our responsibilities. You might consider getting my Saturn in Aquarius candle, because this one was created with a strong Saturn in Aquarius in a prominent position, and it can help you get more organized. Now that this is out of the way, let's talk about the new moon. Like I said, super fascinating because it's part one of two. And not only we get two new moons, which happens once in a while, basically around like once a year, you get two new moons in the same sign, not every year, but it happens once in a while. But here it's super special because the next new moon is a solar eclipse. So this is an introduction, right? It already has those Aries and new moon energies, which, like, new moons always symbolize new beginnings. They're always, the energy is like you're planting a seed in the moist, fertile soil. This is, like I said, extra fertile because there's two lunations in the same sign. And this one is happening at 0 degrees Aries, basically close to 1. So if you have any planets between 0 and 4 degrees Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, you will feel this energy potentially the strongest. And, you know, the second eclipse we're getting will be happening in late degrees Aries, so same signs, but later degrees. This new moon is happening on Tuesday, March 21st at 1:22 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, brings new beginnings. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's kind of the baby of the zodiac in a lot of ways, right? So it's not just new beginnings, it's a new beginning of a longer cycle, kind of birth of something, right? I really like looking at Aries as a spark that starts the fire. You can choose to light the fire in a, it depends, you know, what you kind of choose to light, right? So here this feels, because of the conjunction to Mercury, as like really deep thinking and setting your sails and kind of setting your ship towards your goals. It's interesting because this new moon is ruled by Mars, still separating from a square with Neptune. Mars squared Neptune on March 14th. I know a lot of people have dealt with health issues and kind of tiredness and a sense of uncertainty, disappointment. Let me know if you have dealt with that as well. But as we are, we're sort of like separating and getting out of that foggy energy. This new moon potentially clears a path, right? It's like, I guess I'm sticking with ship metaphors. Like if we're considering a ship in a foggy sea, this new moon feels like a flashlight, or the words are failing me. What are these things called? Like the house, the house light? No, the house basically that shines light for the ships. Please tell me in the comments below. I feel like it's like so annoying when this happens, and it might come to me like 5 minutes from now. But like you get that light cutting through the fog. It's guiding you. It's giving you an insight. So I feel like with Mars squaring Neptune and things feeling confusing and things feeling foggy, this new moon almost brings like this spark, this insight, this better understanding. That's why this is also like part 1 of 2. With this new moon, we get an idea, we get an inspiration. And then with the next new moon solar eclipse, there's more of a kind of fiery, let's go energy. So cutting through fog, mental fog, literal fog, getting through your inner confusion, maybe even separating relationships, projects, things in your living situation, separating fiction from reality is important. We can, like definitely an inception of new projects, new ideas, something that will likely take about 6 months to develop. Aries is the first. Aries is idealistic, right? Like a lot of Aries have some kind of like there's a bit of like childlike wonder quality to it. It's all about you. This new moon is very much like, what do you want? What are your desires? What are your aspirations? It gives you courage. It gives you bravery to pursue things that you are excited about. It gives you decisiveness. There might be quick ideas, quick developments, and a bit of a knee-jerk reaction or a sense that you just want to go for it right now. I would recommend you try to be patient because Mars is still in close engagement with Neptune, and maybe you want to, like I said, plant seeds, journal, and set your intentions right before you take action. So the conjunction to Mercury also makes me feel that not only there is a sense of mental development, it's snowing in New York. But it's also really good for starting projects that deal with writing, communication, networking, speech, right? Like presenting your ideas, starting a YouTube channel, starting a blog, starting a writing project. Business and sales can be also quite highlighted here because Mercury is merchant, so mercantile, right? The same kind of root word. So kind of selling your projects, presenting your ideas seem very strong here. So let's take a look at all 12 rising signs and see what this could be about for you. And like I said, keep in mind that this is part 1 of 2, and the next one has a lot bigger meaning to it, or like bigger oomph and bang. So we're still kind of gonna feel the excitement here, but it's the initiation, and the next one might actually be like, what do they do in sports? It's like 1, 2, 3, go. So basically this is like 1 and the next one will be go. We're gonna skip a few steps. So yeah, let's take a look at all 12 signs and do a quick rundown. If you are an Aries rising, there's a new moon in your first house. It's gonna conjoin Mercury. Mercury rules your 3rd and 6th. And so here you're looking at your gifts. You're looking at your physical body and your knowledge and your passions, right? Or maybe even like gifts that you already have, and you're looking at maximizing your appearance in life, at maximizing your potential, at maximizing your professional success. You are being reborn. This is very like a very busy cycle for Aries risings, because even if you feel a little bit confused in the middle of the month, this might be the time when things become more clear, right? Like maybe you're looking for a different job, maybe you're finding a passion project, maybe you're finally coming to, or like starting to feel more comfortable at the job that you're in, because Mars being in the third house, I know, created a lot of action, a lot of tension, a lot of stressors in your environment. So here it's all about focusing on growth, focusing on your dreams. And because it's connected to Mercury, which it rules your third and sixth, like these new projects can be connected to your neighbors. Like maybe you're moving together with your neighbor. They can be connected to your siblings. Maybe you're starting a project with a sibling. They can be connected to technology and teaching or learning new things. So kind of some new development that requires putting yourself out there and either sharing your knowledge or gaining knowledge, or maybe like changes to your schedule, changes to your everyday life, changes to your living situation potentially as well. And let me know how this resonates in the comments below. I'd love to know. But yeah, like asking what you want and pursuing the things you want is the theme here. If you are a Taurus rising, there's a new moon in Aries conjunct Mercury in your 12th house. And here we have new beginnings in the sector of spirituality, mental health, healing, helping other people heal, connecting with people who are either on the same page with you spiritually, or people who are isolated and somehow misunderstood and they need your help. So this new moon can definitely, it's interesting because it conjoins Mercury, and Mercury rules your second house of finances and values and your fifth house of joy. So you're potentially, like this new moon can go two ways, right? Like it can bring gains in terms of spirituality, like starting to see a therapist, starting to study yoga or something like that, or becoming a healer, kind of buying a tarot deck, right? Like an inception of something new where you will become a tarot reader eventually. Or the second way this new moon can manifest is 12th house deals with letting things go. And new moons in the 12th house often are like light bulbs going off, where you realize something that you're doing or something that you are thinking or some kind of habit pattern that is not helping you, that is destructive, that maybe even, because Mercury is conjunct this new moon, Mercury rules your fifth house. So it could be about like partying too much, or it could be about not having enough fun in a relationship and then realizing that you need to let it go. I feel like for me, the last time I had new moon in my 12th house, it was very much like, I see very clearly that my relationship with social media needs to change, or I need to put better boundaries. So here you're kind of getting more insights in what needs to be released or what needs to be enhanced. What's like something inside you that is trying to express itself that you need to give more attention to. If you are a Gemini rising, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury, the ruler of your first and fourth, in the 11th house. New moons in the 11th house bring new friendships, potentially new associations, right? Connections with people who are more aligned with you, maybe people who will help you get to where you're trying to go. 11th house is large groups of people. So sometimes new moons here mean presenting your ideas, right? The ruler of your first house, Mercury, is conjunct this new moon. So it's very much like ideas that reflect who you are, ideas that reflect your values and your beliefs. You're finding support. 11th house rules social media and fans. So here you're finding your fans, or you're maybe figuring out ways to use social media to your advantage. Maybe you're venturing in social media and starting to express yourself and present yourself differently. There might be new dreams right? 11th house represents your hopes and dreams, and a sense of deeper involvement, like dreams that can potentially deal with your place of living, dreams that deal with real estate, dreams that deal with your homeland. Maybe you're starting a project that is like I don't know, like a tree of your family, or some kind of project that has to do with your childhood is possible here. As well as 11th house in a lot of ways is very like altruistic place. So sometimes the new moon here might encourage you to give back and to put yourself out there and to find new ways to help people around you. For Cancer risings, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury, the ruler of your 12th and the ruler of your 3rd, in the 10th house. So Cancer risings are in the precipice of major new beginnings when it comes to career, as we have this new moon in your 10th house. The fact that the ruler of the 12th and the 3rd are here make me wonder if the new beginnings have to do with teaching, writing, speaking, healing, right? 12th house deals with foreign travel, foreign kind of people, dealing with people who are maybe far away from you. Either you're working with them on a project or you're helping them somehow, like teaching them English, let's say. But this is exciting, right? Like it's an inception of new idea. You will likely to see how it unravels in approximately 6 months. And if you are a Cancer rising, let me know what kind of new beginnings you foresee happening. It's definitely exciting because it could be about taking a new direction professionally, right? But as much as that, it could also be about like asking for what you want, starting a new project, starting a business, or like making adjustments to your existing career. You may be getting recognized for your work. You may be getting an exciting new opportunity or a chance to be more visible professionally. If you are a Leo rising, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury in your 9th house. And Mercury rules your 11th and 2nd. So new moon in the 9th points to, on one hand, development of your faith. Some kind of changes to your beliefs, some kind of changes to your mentality, maybe connected to the people you have met, connected to the changes in your circle, or to the changes in your values, right? Some kind of shift is happening in the things that you find important, and as a result, you are starting to think differently of yourself, of your relationships, and of your pursuits. Maybe you are like, new beginnings in the 9th house could also bring new projects that deal with education, travel, writing, publishing your work. And it could be something that, the goal here is like to pay off a debt or to start making more money, because Mercury being the ruler of your 2nd house, I feel like you're kind of looking at your values and you're looking at your finances and maybe wondering, what do you need to change in your life? And that could be like a mental change, like I said, just in terms of rethinking your mental state, rethinking your beliefs. Or it could also be like a literal kind of steps you need to take. Like maybe you need to come up with a strategy to pay off a debt, or maybe you need to go back to school, or maybe you need to start writing, maybe you need to become more serious about how you're writing. It's all about, like, new moon in the 9th house is all about what you believe and kind of following your beliefs. But I feel like because this new moon has more of a mental quality, perhaps first you need to sort through the things that you actually believe versus things that you may have inherited from other people. Becoming a teacher, working with foreigners, new beginnings when it comes to your relationships with foreign people, and new beginnings when it comes to legal matters is also a possibility, like getting involved in a court battle or signing a contract or some kind of like legal change to your status, applying for a visa, applying for a green card are also possibilities here. And because we get 2 new moons, there's 2 starting points. First one is happening in March 21st. The second one is April 20th. If you are a Virgo rising, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury, the ruler of your 10th and 1st, in the 8th house. New moons in the 8th house bring new collaborations, new partnerships, right? Like new contracts for you to sign. It's all about opportunities that come through other people. Of course, it could also be opportunities that you initiate, but definitely some kind of start of like a new business, even personal, potentially relationship, because new moon in the 8th house means that you are bringing your resources and joining them with somebody else. And the resources can be mental when it comes to starting a writing project with a writing partner, or they can be literal, like physical resources. You're joining your finances with your romantic partner. You're opening a joint bank account. There might be major shift when it comes to debts and taxes with this new moon, where you start to pay off a debt or you get in debt. Like another possibility here could be getting a mortgage, applying for a loan, taking on some kind of big financial undertaking. Finally, the other thing that 8th house deals with is your, oh my God, it's just like snowing like crazy. I hope it sticks. Sorry, getting distracted. But like another thing that 8th house deals with is your psychology and your mental state. And a lot of times new moon in the 8th house could bring deeper realizations about give and take dynamics, maybe a sense of understanding of what needs to be changed in your expression so that your relationships even out and become more fair. So like I said, as well as like literal new beginnings with like new opportunities, new finances, new resources coming your way, this can also be a sense of like first inner realization and shift, and then pursuing things. I wonder, like, you know, this feels like a professional start, potentially more than romantic, but it could be romantic as well. I'm thinking professional because the new moon conjoins Mercury, the ruler of your 10th house. If you are a Libra rising, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury in your 7th house. Mercury rules your 9th and your 12th. New moons in the 7th are all about new beginnings when it comes to romantic relationships, your partner's life, and business partnerships. So romantically, this could be an inception of something new. It is conjunct Mercury. Mercury rules your 9th and the 12th. So it could be you start to date someone of a different culture, a different nationality, or different background. It could also be, like I said, it could indicate a new start in the life of your partner, because conjoins Mercury in the 9th or the 12th, like maybe your partner is starting a new job, or they're starting a job that deals with more travel, or they begin to teach, right? There might be opportunities to start new professional partnerships, because that's what 7th house represents as well. But overall, Libra risings are entering a very busy romantically and professionally stage of life, right? Like we just had Saturn shift into Pisces, and that's your 6th house of daily work. So your schedule potentially will speed up if it hasn't yet. Let me know in the comments below. But also with Jupiter still being in your 7th house and this new moon and then solar eclipse in April, it just feels like a lot of new developments when it comes to who you're with, right? Like 7th house answers the question of like, who are you with? So changes related to that. And like I said, they can be business or they could be romantic, where the new person is coming into your life, or they could be changes to your existing partner, where before you said you were with someone who's an engineer and now they are an astronaut. If you are, I'd love to know. If you are a Scorpio rising, there's a new moon conjunct Mercury in the 6th house. Mercury rules your 8th and 11th. And Scorpio risings, the new moon in the 6th, I'm curious what has been happening with work for you or with topics of health, because new moon in the 6th can definitely bring some kind of significant new development when it comes to your professional life, right? Like Jupiter has been in the 6th house, potentially igniting your desire to serve other people, to get involved, to start some kind of project that feeds the fire within, right? Like what gets you going? What is something that you're willing to work hard for? Because sixth house is all about working hard. Sixth house is about sacrifices and blood and sweat and tears. So here you're starting something new that will require a lot of hours. And it could be professional, or it could be a new undertaking that has to do with pregnancy, or going back to school, or getting on a grueling diet or grueling workout routine. So let me know how this resonates in the comments below, and how has Jupiter in the sixth house been affecting you. But it's a lovely time to think about your future and how your everyday life and how your immediate environment, starting with the the way you wash your face, ending with the pillow that you sleep on, how all of this is affecting your productivity, and maybe something needs to be changed. But also, like I said, there could be new beginnings when it comes to like something that will require a lot of work, a lot of energy, but will be worth it in the long run. If you are a Sag rising, there's a new moon in your fifth house of romance, creativity, joy, sex, and children. And it conjoins Mercury, the ruler of your seventh and the ruler of your 10th. So it's a new moon that introduces more fun. It's the inception of new period of self-expression and excitement in your life. And this could be connected to a new romantic relationship, or a creative hobby that you're taking on and exploring, and maybe even turning it into a career, because there is this new moon conjoins Mercury, the ruler of your 10th house. Or it could be connected to children, right? If you are in a relationship, you may start trying for a baby, and maybe, maybe in 6 months from now, you will watch my video about the full moon in Aries and you will be pregnant. But getting pregnant, starting to try to get pregnant is very much a possibility here. New creative beginnings, new romantic beginnings, just looking for a way to get in touch with kids, maybe spending more time with children, nieces, nephews, or being a teacher, or even like connecting with your inner child and wondering, what does your inner child want? Feels very like either professional or romantic, I think, here. If you are a Capricorn rising, there's a new moon in your fourth house, and it conjoins Mercury, the ruler of your 6th and your 9th. This feels very much like new beginnings when it comes to home, family, living situation that may require a hurdle you have to overcome, or a legal matter that you have to address. And I actually have a client who is involved in a legal battle when it comes to property. So there is action, there's developments in this sector. Maybe you're starting a new home renovation project, right? And it will require you to get approval for from the zoning place. I don't know much about it, so I don't know how it works. But, the ruler, Mercury being the ruler of the 6th house, like you're starting a home renovation project, it's going to take a long time, it's going to cost a lot of money, it will involve a lot of energy, but it's new beginnings when it comes to your living situation. There may be developments to your family, where your family is expanding, maybe you are moving in with someone, you're getting a new roommate, as well as looking deeper, looking at what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel at home and secure, and making changes. And that could be making changes to who you connect with and whether those people feel like family, or making changes to your immediate environment and upgrading changing the wall color, painting it the color that is warm, makes you feel happy. And let me know, how has your living situation changed, or how have the topics of home, family, real estate already been activated for you? Because Jupiter has been in your 4th house of home and family since late December. If you are an Aqua rising, there's a new moon in your 3rd house, a new moon that is part of 2, right? There's going to be a solar eclipse in your 3rd house in April. This new moon conjoins Mercury, the ruler of the 5th and the 8th. And you are looking at your schedule, you're looking at your everyday life, at your communication, your knowledge, your skills and gifts you have, and wondering how you can apply them, how you can turn them into something tangible, right? Third house, Aries, is the energy of starting new things. Third house is the house of business. So I wonder if for some of you, you are placing kind of a lot of focus on becoming independent, you're planting seeds of starting a business. Mercury is conjunct the new moon. Mercury rules your 5th house. So I feel like self-expression comes from here as well. It rules your 8th house. So maybe you're even investing or getting a loan or asking people for advice, asking people for resources in order to make that dream a reality. Your schedule might be changing. Maybe you are starting to take, I don't know, a different route to work, or you're starting to work from home. There is some kind of new beginnings to your everyday life. But I feel like more than just professional changes, these changes have to do with what makes you happy, what makes you feel excited. And they also have to do with communication and wanting to say what you need to say, wanting to express yourself. You may be also finding new interests, right? Like kind of getting more involved, more interested in the topics that only have barely been on your radar. Like you've always watched astrology videos, but now you decide to take a class or you start giving readings to people. So some kind of significant development in that realm is likely. And now if you are a Pisces rising, there's an exciting new moon happening in your 2nd house. Why exciting? It's because it's new moon that is followed by a solar eclipse in the same house. So a lot of new beginnings. We have a new moon in March 21st. We have a solar eclipse on April 20th. 2nd house is the place of finances and it's the place of values. And this new moon conjoins Mercury, the ruler of your 4th and your 7th house. So I can see significant, like an inception of a new idea when it comes to making money, when it comes to starting a business, starting like a side, finding a source of income on the side potentially. You are being very energetic, you're being brave, you're more willing to take a risk, right? There might be changes to your values connected to your relationship, where maybe your partner inspires you, or your partner is going through a change and you are experiencing a change as well. There could be some changes to your living situation or some changes to your finances that are inspired by your living situation. Like maybe you're starting to save up to move to a better home, or you're starting to save up to renovate your current home. Basically, some kind of new beginnings when it comes to your money or to your values that are connected to your partnerships or to your home and family is one of the possibilities, as well as just starting to believe in yourself more, becoming more proactive, being more willing to step outside of your comfort zone and ask for what you want, right? Like, or strike a new deal, because the ruler of your 7th house, which is the house of contracts, is conjunct this new moon. So I wonder if you are stepping out of your normal comfort zone and getting ready or getting more willing to explore outside and try new things. And let me know if this resonates, if you have been feeling a sense of like needing to make changes to your finances and values, if you are a Pisces rising, or if you listened until now and you are a different rising sign. I'm curious to know how this new moon or Jupiter already being in the sign of Aries has affected you. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you have a lovely new moon. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.